Now, Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, Dandavat Pranam to everyone. Thank you for joining Gita Gyan session. So before we start the session, let us take the blessings from the Lord. The deities of Sri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maharani Sudarshan Bhagavan ki jai, Vamandev Bhagavan ki jai, Parashuram Bhagavan ki jai, Nitai Chaitanya Bhagavan ki jai, Panchatattva ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Gurudev ki jai. Let us offer our prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuram Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we have completed 11 chapters. We are into 12th chapter. Today we are starting the 12th chapter, and today we will be discussing shloka number 1. So let me read this.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. Yes. Arjuna uvacha evam satata yukta ye bhaktastvam paryupasate ye chapi aksharam avyaktam tesham ke yoga vittamaha. Arjuna inquired, which are considered to be more perfect, those who are always properly engaged in your devotion service, or those who worship the impersonal Brahman, the unmanifested? Thank you, Prabhuji. So, Hare Krishna, dear devotees. We'll just go for a small recap because it is linked to the start of this chapter. So, Arjuna, what happened in the previous some of the slokas of the last chapter was Arjuna, after seeing the universal, like the two-handed form of the wonderful Lord, Arjuna becomes composed in his mind, right? When he sees the Supreme Lord in his two-handed original form. And then the Lord says, "Oh Arjuna, this form of mine you're seeing is very difficult to behold or to see. Even the demigods are even ever seeking the opportunity to see this form, which is so dear. This form can't be understood by studying the Vedas, nor by serious penances, nor by charity, nor by simple temple visit." So the two-handed form and the four-handed form are called Sudurdarsham. Sudurdarsham means it is difficult to see, very difficult to see. Okay. Now, now, how can we see it? Only by pure devotion service can I be understood as I am. For this, we have to be trained or we have to take training and guidance from the bona fide spiritual master. Oh Arjuna, he who engages in my pure devotion service, free from contamination of fruitive activities and mental speculation, he who works for me, makes me the supreme goal in life, finally to being friendly to all living beings, certainly will come to me. So here the Lord is telling, and Srila Prabhupada in his purport, he is telling we should be free from contamination from fruitive activities. Like, I want this, I want that, if we do something, taking credit for ourselves, and from material speculation, mental speculation. So all these things we should avoid, and we should make the supreme goal. Our supreme goal should be to know him, to know him and to worship him and be friendly to living beings. This is very important. Then the Lord said, "Oh yes, then you can come to me." And also, what did the Lord say? And here what's happening actually is the Lord is mercifully giving us the formula with which we can know him and to reach him, right? So here we have to see Arjuna didn't ask him, to the Lord in the end of the chapter, "Oh Krishna, how everybody can see this form?" If he's telling, right, it is rare. So how we can know you like that? Arjuna didn't ask. Directly the Lord is telling. So this is how you can do. So why the Lord is revealing all these things? Because he loves us. He is Suhridam Sarvabhutanam. right? He's longing for all of us to come back to his abode and be happy in our natural spiritual form and to serve him or assist others who are serving the Lord like that, right? The Lord, Arjuna didn't ask, but the Lord is revealing because he loves us so much and he wants us somehow or the other. He is encouraging us to come back home, back to Godhead. So, from here in this verse, what does the Lord? What? Let us discuss today's verse. It is Arjuna is inquiring. Oh, which is considered to be most perfect? Who are always properly engaged in your devotion service, or those who worship the impersonal Brahman, the unmanifested? So here, what through this, what we have to understand is here we are trying to remove the wrong ways to reach the Lord, right? We for example, if we are going to a different place, we see the shortest shortcut, right? So it's like that. We don't want to go if there is a lift, a proper lift, no one would want to climb 10 to the 10th floor. They'll use the lift. In the same way, here we are trying to remove all the wrong ways so that we can take up the best possible path. Now here in the purport, Srila Prabhupada is telling, generally the transcendentalist can be divided into two classes. What is that? One is the impersonalist and the other one is personalist. Now, what is the difference? Personalist devotees engage themselves with all energy in the service of the Supreme Lord. Yesterday we have seen the Rath Yatra, right? And also on Saturday we will also celebrate our Rath Yatra. What will happen? What do we do? We clean the road and then we decorate, right? The beautiful decorations, colorful decorations, very beautifully, and then the cart is beautifully decorated. Prasadam is distributed, and the cart, like we push the cart. Everybody is eager. Oh, I want to push the cart, right? It's not like nobody says I don't want to. Everybody want to push the cart. So there's a personal interaction, right? And also, why are we doing this? So that the common public can also see the Lord, and Lord can see them, right? So the public can take the Lord's blessings, right? And also, what happens then when all these public sees the Lord, all the wonderful devotees, they will see, oh, and we are distributing books also. So the public will have a curiosity. Oh, what is this? Looks like there is a temple nearby. Let me ask and go on Sundays or whenever they have free time. So the Lord also says, right? The four types of different people will come to me. Who are they? Arthi, Artharthi, Jignasu, and Gnani. So when we do this Rath Yatra and all Sankirtan, all these Arthi, Artharthi, Jignasu, Gnanis, they somehow or the other they will slowly come, and the jignasu, right? The curiosity will wake up from them, within them. So and what will happen? This way we will be involved in seva, and others will also know about the Lord, right? And they will slowly start to coming from to the temple, and they'll get some books. They will start to know about Krishna consciousness, and most importantly, they will know who they are, right? Once we know who we are, like we are soul, we're not this body. This body is temporary. And then what will happen? Then we will find out the right ways to live, right? Living our life. That's what. So that's why that is the personalism. But the impersonalists, what do? They also engage themselves. The problem is they only engage themselves not directly in the service of the Lord, but in meditation on the impersonal Brahman, the unmanifested. So this is the difference between the impersonalist and the personalist. So here the Lord will introduce us to the process. In this chapter, the Lord will introduce us to different processes of realization of the absolute truth. Among all these processes, bhakti yoga, the pure devotion service is the highest. He will say that. And if one at all desires to have association with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then we have to take up the pure devotional service. So here in this wonderful purport, Srila Prabhupada says in the second chapter, like the Lord has given us, like slowly he introduced us different concepts. So here Srila Prabhupada is talking about different concepts, how the Lord is, we have come to this stage of 12th chapter. So what happened in the previous chapters? Srila Prabhupada is giving us a small intro, like, right? So what it is here in the second chapter, the living entity, the Lord introduced us about who we are, right? He gave us the knowledge, right? If we are a living entity, we are not this material body, we are a spiritual spark, like that, right? And when Arjuna said, oh, I don't want to fight, what was the first thing? Why he didn't want to fight? Because he was always seeing the bodily relations, right? My teacher, my grandfather Bhishma, etc., etc. So the first sloka that the Lord said was in 11th sloka, second chapter. Sochan sochasum prajnavadam shabasase gatasun agadasuncha nanu sochanti pandita. Right? You're talking like a pandita, but you don't know. All these people are they were before, they will be now, they will be here, and afterwards also they will be here, they will be there. So you don't talk. That means your way of thinking is wrong, like that, right? You're talking like a pandita, but your thought process is wrong. So that. Uh, um, Lord said in the first shloka itself, the Lord said, your thought process is wrong. That means we have to change our thought process. And in 13th shloka, dehinosmin yata dehe kaumaram yavanam jara tata dehantara praptir dhirastatra namuhyati. So what is then he started telling, we change our bodies and then we'll get another body, like that, right? Life after life, we will get another body. So don't become discouraged, like that, right? In the 7th chapter, what did he say? Be fully conscious of me, who know me as the governing principle of the material manifestation can understand and know me as the supreme personality of Godhead. So in the 7th chapter, the Lord said this. And then in 8th chapter, 5th shloka, antakale cha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram yaprayati samadbhavam yati nashti atra samshayaha. Whoever at the end of life quits his body, remember me alone, at once attains my nature, and of this there is no doubt. So we have to remember. He is telling we have to remember. So remember means what we will have remember. There has to be some form, right? So that's why we are talking about the personalism here. The Lord is telling about remembering the personalism, not impersonalism. And in 6th chapter, 47th sloka, the Lord says, Yoginam api sarvesham matkatena taratmana Shraddhavan bhajate yomam same yukta tamo mataha. Of all the yogis, the one who has great faith and always abides in me, thinks of me within themselves and renders transcendental loving service to me. He is most intimately united with me in yoga, and he is most intimately, and he is the highest of all. The Lord says, this is my opinion. See, Lord is always talking about there is something called me, do service to me. That means there is a personalism, it's not impersonalism, right? And out of all this, and practically at the end of all the chapters, he is talking about one should be attached to the personal form of the Lord. And this is the highest spiritual realization. So he's talking about, he's telling impersonalism is not right. That is the most important thing. And what is important? Personalism is very important. And now Arjuna, actually, so the thing is, Arjuna wanted to know what is the right process, and he wanted to settle the question, right? Which process is easier? In this sloka, Arjuna asked, and the Lord explains. In the next sloka, Arjuna, the Lord will explain clearly, oh, which process is right and why, and all this chapter, all the total chapter of 12th chapter, the Lord will describe in different ways what is the right process. There are different types of processes, and the Lord will explain different processes, and he will say, oh, this pure devotion service is the highest, like that. So, and there is a drawback of the impersonal feature, that they will only reach the like only the impersonal, like that Brahman, only the Brahma Jyoti, they will only reach Brahma Jyoti. And there is a drawback of this, that there is always a possibility that Jiva may fall down. So that's why using this method of impersonalism is not correct. That is also we have to understand. And also Arjuna, and this important question asked by Krishna, by Arjuna, will clarify the distinction between the impersonal and personal conception of the absolute truth. So this is the Lord will clearly explain us why pure devotion service is very important and why we should take up and what are the other process that we will understand from sloka number 2. So thank you, dear devotees. Any questions? We will take up now. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees.